What's going on, Brian? How are you? I'm not turning right now. I'm going to be doing some trellises. A little bit different, but still woodworking. You're already losing sleep. I don't know how Sylvia manages to do it, but she waited until my live stream started to ask me for something. She has a knack for that. What she needed, but she sent me some sort of message that said, when you get a moment. I'm like, well, I just started, so it's gonna be a minute. I had to pull all my staples out so I don't fuck up my brand new table saw blade. Did you end up turning something? Are you gonna start posting on YouTube? Or are you just gonna play on the lathe? It'd be cool to see you at least do a video or two. You said you're good at editing, right? All right, so all the parts for these are made out of 1-inch strips. Most of the time with these, I don't bother joining them, but I don't know if you guys can see this board goes pretty crazily that way. I'm gonna check them for nails that way as well. Yeah, I'm gonna have to join these. There's no way I'm gonna get straight enough boards out of these and be able to actually make something out of them. Yeah, we're 100% going to have to join these. That one's not bad. That one I probably could do with, but we'll just align all my edges up. For this side I want to run over. And then we'll just check those for staples real quick. Looks like we're good. That way we don't mess up our joiner knives. Mostly play on the lathe, may do a few. I think it would be fun to make those silverware stuff for the new apartment. Heck yeah, dude. I wish you would have told me. I just placed an order this morning from them. I ordered 40 kits. I'll bring you guys over here. I ordered 10 gold and 10 black basic slimline kits. And I ordered 10 of the stylus kits. And so gold and black on those as well. So I'll have 40 total kits that way. And then I've got, that way I can keep up with nightly turning every single day. And then after that, they're also sending me the 10 for free. So but yeah, I wish I would have known when we could have thrown some of those on the order, because that company is like direct from China. You are getting stuff straight from China, so it's gonna take a while to get, even for shipping. So, what's up, guys? Might be a little bit loud for a minute, guys. Just a heads up. I'd like to give you guys a better view of this. There we go. Let's see, we got a gap there, it's hidden here. So we got to take some off this end and some off that end. So second pass on this end, so I'm going to flip it. Two on that side, two on the other side. Man, this thing goes crazy. This was fairly straight when I bought this. There's 4 total from this end, and we'll flip again. We'll hit 2 this side. I think we're almost flat. And this shit's cut real bad too. Man. Crazy how important this got. I was just hitting the knot. There we go. Now we're looking good. One more pass. All right, one more last. Yep, got everything. Good, that was good. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh yeah, you can even see it on camera. So, I don't know how many of you guys are well versed in using a joiner or not, but whenever you're doing this, you can see how this board kind of bows like this. I've always found it easier to straighten it when you put that side down rather than this side. So you put this side down, you're gonna have to start right here in the middle, and you're just gonna take that middle section off. And I just find it easier if you just hit your high points on each end of the board. And then the main thing is you want to always keep your pressure on the out feed table, not on the end feed. And then obviously you've got to keep it flat up against the fence that way. So you got pressure going that way and pressure going down that way. Let's see if we can actually get this one straight. It's gonna take a lot of work to straighten these bad boys back out. From each end to make that gap a little bit smaller. And then once you get far enough, you'll eventually have it completely straight. Thank you, Cheryl. That's right, you were watching that first night that I started messing around with the ideas. I never really got all that far with it. But I finally did wrap that up. I need to make the wife some for her acrylic paint. This is the same version, just smaller holes. It is hot out here today. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me say that. I'm sorry. Yeah. It is ridiculously hot. There we go. We're getting there. I think we might be there. Let's start again. See if we can make contact all the way throughout. We got it. Got it. Do one more pass, go in the opposite direction. Look at that, nice and straight. Best way to see how you guys did, join the two boards. See? Put them together, and you shouldn't have any gap in between. Obviously, the project we're working on, they don't have to be absolutely perfect, but those are pretty good. Always when I put you guys back into the tripod there, but I end up pressing the button, turning the whole screen off. there. Put the other in a little bit. Good Lord. It's right about there. Damn close. Not bad. That's hidden now. And now we'll come all the way across. Still has a tiny little gap there, but it's still making contact. So if you keep the pressure in the right spot, you'll still get a nice thin board. All right, there we go. Woo. Good Lord, it is hot. From your hangover nest, is that what we're... Benner, you've watched me long enough to know that I do other things besides turn pens. This is the stuff that funds the pen turning. All right. Whew. All right. So again, if you guys want to duplicate this build, these are just 1-inch strips. You totally don't have to join them. I just had these boards I picked up about a week ago, and they had worked massively, so I was going to have a hard time getting them through. But if you select some straight lumber and cut it while it's still straight, you definitely don't need the joiner. But it is nice. I think the joiner is one of those tools that's a total game changer for a lot of shops, because it enables you to go from buying S4S, surface 4 sides, so both faces, both edges, to being able to buy rough lumber and mill it yourself. And when you mill it yourself, you're going to save a ton of money. What's up, big dog? All right, let's rip some strips. So currently, let's see, I'm making 3 36-inch ones, 2 24-inch ones, and then 2 of those. So total, I need 3, 5, 7. I need 7 of my sideboards. So I'm going to need at least 7 strips at full length. Make sure I actually use the straight edge that I just put on the boards. You guys can get a better view from over here. fit that right. That looks a hell of a lot smaller than that. It's not. It's spot on. Look at how bad that bone goes as I cut it. That's wonderful. Luckily, we need a bunch of smaller parts, so it should work out okay. Any of the stuff that turns out super good, we'll use that. We're shooting to find ourselves 14 super straight. Really? What was wrong with this wood? It wasn't even wet when I bought it. Look at that shit. God damn. Hopefully the next board doesn't do this. And this one you will show the diagonal flats going back and forth. But damn. Can I get over how ridiculous we built this board? Got 3 of these short callings, 2 going to Boulder, 2 going to Denver. I'll drop the 2 off in Boulder, and on my way up to Denver, so I'll drop those 2 off, and I've also sold 5 of those planters that I finished up a while back. There we go, now we're getting one nice straight piece out of that. That's so frustrating. Rain keeps a drop now. Produced way too much of that, making me. Yeah. God damn. Hopefully the other boards that I have, I can get some straight pieces out of, because it looks like this is all going to be flat. None of this is coming out straight. Pissing me off. You can see it like warp as it comes off the saw. And it's really weird to me because the stuff was pretty dry. Normally you see that happen. That one will work. There's a good one. So I've got two decently straight ones that I can use. Need 14. And overall, as long as they're mostly straight, the pattern itself, as you glue and nail it together, will work. So there's 3. Okay, we're doing a little better now. They're not all warping as they come off the top. There we go. Got 4. I think that's going to be too skinny. Yeah. It's not even long enough to do one of those flats. All right. Here we go. There we go. Heck yeah. That's a good one. I hate working with pickets. We got 6 good ones. Only need 8 more. And that's just going to be our legs. We got 8 for the work. I'm telling you guys, you should try making some of these and put them on Marketplace next year. I've sold more of these damn things than just about anything I've ever made. Well, that's not true, but more than anything I've made recently. Definitely my highest seller on Marketplace. Especially if you're willing to do custom sizes and patterns. So, we got one more board. Because it's bowed also this direction, kind of makes it look not straight that way when it is. In 1 second, I'll get caught up on the trail after this board. And that one is a good rocky board. Wonderful. God damn. One's a little better. Still don't think it's straight enough for a leg. There we go. I think this one will work out. Yeah, it's not perfect, but like I say, you get a little bit of flex with these. So as you nail the frame together, as long as it's close, you can get it nice and straight. It'll hold that way. Yeah, Keith, if you're still watching, I did finally got someone that's buying 5 of those planters for $35 a piece today. So that'll at least recuperate all the materials on them. Got a maybe good idea for a video for you, Ken, and his jointer. Sorry, I will say hi to everybody in a moment. Busy with adulting at this exact second. You're all good, bro. All right. Well, I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I am going to need from that, let's see, 7 total, so 14 of the top and bottom pieces. So let me grab a few more pickets. Unfortunately, just about everything I build is made in like a batch. So at times it can get kind of boring, and I'm sorry for that. But if you really want to make money woodworking, there's basically 2 routes you can go. You can do the high end, everything custom, one-of-a-kind pieces, or you can do production work. I find it a lot easier to sell the production work. Make big batches of stuff. Ooh, this one's actually straight enough. I can just run that right through the saw. As soon as I get my staple out the back here. There we go. That's another side. Right? And I've had a lot of other interest in them. At least they're finished. These ones have been in the shop for probably about a month. So these ones should be significantly more stable. They've adjusted fully to the shop humidity and whatnot, even though it's very significantly upset. These, though I need 14, I won't need 14 full-length strips because 4 of them are 24 inches and 4 of them are 36 inches. So for that, 4 is 24. I get 3 per stick. So need 2 on that. And then the other one, I'll need 16. 36, I can get 2 out of each stick. And on those, let's see. I need 6 total, I'll need 3 sticks for that. So, total 5, and then the other 2 are, well, the other 4 top and bottom pieces are going to be around 48 inches. So those ones we will need a total of 4 sticks. I think I can get away with running this one the way it is. A little bit thicker. Luckily, it's just those first couple boards that were so crazy, ridiculously bowed. I will be doing some turning later on tonight, but gotta get these orders knocked out. I think I'm going to go ahead and just rip up the rest of this stack. Use up the last of my pickets. And I can go buy some more once I get paid for new stuff. These ones are in so much better shape. None of these need run across the joiner. I only do that if I absolutely have to. But it seems like it didn't really make much of a difference because they all warped like crazy as they came off the saw. Let me go with that side. Need to get a gang saw to run through here. Just this probably will be one of my longer streams today. It's gonna take a while on each set because we're making 7 of them. Oh, it might be. Oh, heck yeah. Just wide enough. Most of the drop pieces aren't wide enough for it. That one, it's actually hitting all the way through. Two more. I think I can get away with it. It's not bad. I should still be around there. I'm not going anywhere. Got tons to do today. I wanted to get started earlier, but I felt like absolute garbage this morning. So it took me a while to get the bodies. I really miss having an outfeed table. But I don't feel like I have room for one until I move the shop to the other side. I might be able to find one of those like roller stands, set back there at least for now, off Marketplace or something, but probably not. I gotta keep spending money. I start making money, not spending it. The wife's job to spend the money, my job to make it. I've had that a little reverse lately. That one I won't be able to use the whole thing from about here to about here. I'll be able to cut some of these pieces out of it. I'm not going to try to cut that one without doing it. That one's just a little too rough. Alright, we're going to always come back and cut more. I think I've got quite a bit. I mean, I got one heck of a pile there. I got all that. Like stack 2, 3 high. And then I got all these. What's up, Weber? How are you? I just kind of catch up on chat. Is that your official logo, your little icon there? I can't really see it too well on here. All right, well, so next we are going to do we're going to go ahead and move these out of the way. These will all go called side slats since they're so warped. We'll really only be able to use them to cut the smaller pieces. So let's go ahead. We'll cut these down. I need to measure. I forget how tall I normally make these. I know it's 6 foot total once I put the legs on, but got too much shit in the shop right now. Too much non-job shit. Let's see here. 62. So we're going to cut these at 62 inches long. Full flush trim. I need 6 of these. Okay. these legs, I normally try to make sure that we don't have any open knots. So like that's still a solid piece of wood right there, so that's not going to break. So that's okay, but you don't want any. If I come across one, I'll show you guys later. There we go. There's a good one. Good example. That's not going to work. Do I have you guys facing the street? I did turn you around. Okay, good. But we can still use that for shorter pieces. Especially with this only being 1 inch thick, you just want to make sure that you're using solid pieces for the upright. Unfortunately, I can't set a stop block for cutting these legs, but pretty much everything else I can. So. Four. Oh, yeah, I don't like that. It looks kind of rough. Well, this should be fine. Actually more stable than it looks. Two more. And I guess when I get done with this, I will throw parts list up in the description for you guys if you want to duplicate this. None of these are my original size though. I normally make these 24 inches wide. Or actually, I do have 2 that I'm making that size, but the other 5, they all have custom dimensions. All right, we'll put that towards the top. And you want them to look rustic, so you're not worried about knots as long as it's structurally sound. Is that right? Knot. All right. So there we got our 6 legs. Now let's cut our 6 top and bottoms. So on those, we're going to be going 36 inches first. Those are the first ones we're going to make. are the ones that I'm going to be taking to Denver the soonest. Go with the other Denver order. Let me check on chat here after this one. What's going on, Lawrence? Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of production work today, so it's a little bit different. Ken, have you never seen my chop saw before? So like 2 weeks after I bought it, it started binding up on me. And I messed with it and messed with it. Couldn't figure out how to get it to stop binding up. So I took the blade guard off. And then after doing so, I had this saw for probably about 14 years. And I've done shit ton of production work with it. So I think that is what led to the break going out. I did at one point did have a break, yes, but now it is worn out and no longer works. So I'm gonna cut this end off this one. Those knots were like literally 36 inches apart from one edge of one to the other. I could have worked out more perfectly. There we got. Yeah, cut this one. Well, that one's a piece of drop. It's like 35. Same thing with that one, 35 and like 3/4. Did you guys all see that the requirement for watch hours is changing? Come January, we're going to need, or February, the watch required to be monetized is going to be going up to 8,000 hours. So that is pretty crazy. So we just need 2 more, and then we will have the frame cut out for the 3 36-inch ones. I could have set a stop block for these, but I didn't. The main one where you really need to set the stop block is for the angle cut. Those you need at least 22 on each single one. So those you definitely going to measure each individual one. You'll be here all day. I mean, just on these three alone, that'll be 66 parts. We got those. Let's go ahead. I'll cut the legs for the two 24-inch ones. 48-inch ones. I'm trying to think because those ones have mirrors inside them. I originally misread the customer's request and thought she wanted both mirrors put together like this. Tried doing a backer to them line up well, and there's just no way. So I got frustrated. Told I was going to give her a refund because the design was not something that could be done quality. And then she re-clarified. And so the way these are actually going to work is one's going to go on one side of the trellis. If you guys look at the thumbnail, and then the other will go on the other side, and it's just basically going to attach directly to the back of that. So yeah, that's how these are going to be assembled. So those ones, if I remember right, those mirrors are exactly 48 inches. I'm going to take a quick smoke break. Step outside. Have a good night, Weber. Sorry if I missed you. Hutch, what's going on? I did end up picking up Ebony. I'll show you the real quick. Good stick of it. So here is that ebony for your fan. You get a little chunk there. If you're still watching, I'll probably turn that one tonight. That way I can get that wrapped up and sent out with your other. I still got to make it to the post office today. So, but I do have those two back there that I need to mark down. I don't like the design, and apparently no one else on Marketplace likes them either because no one's asked for those. What's going on, Cedar Point? You don't know that, Keith. You just don't know. I could come up with something. You just don't know. These are from making that. Keith says I'm never going to use them. I could make little toy trucks. Yeah, no, Ken has been fucking killing it, dude. I was looking at Ken's channel this morning. I've been putting Ken's videos on at night as I'm going to bed and help him out with watch hours. He don't need my help. He is killing it, guys. I think the last time I looked, he's up to 350 subscribers, and he's only posted 15 videos. He just does an amazing job during his lives, interacting with people, going back and forth. His videos are fun. I'm pretty sure all you guys are already subscribed to him, but please, if not, go check him out. It's well worth your time. So, all right. Good enough. So let's move, actually 36 inches. I don't think I can do that one on the table saw. I have to crawl around on the floor, damn it. Yep. I need to get something wider where I can do these ones up on the table saw. I really need to just get this bench cleared off so I can assemble on it. But that's its own debacle. All sorts of partially finished projects, a shit ton of scrap, tools. But that's all right. Anyway, let's move this stuff. I'm going to set you guys back down. I mean, Keith, that's what I said about the cutting board scraps, and look at how those turned out. Why am I clearing that up? What? How did these get down here? Gotta get these hung up. See? There we go. We'll glue them all together. And we'll make a turning blank. Don't need to throw them away. I really do need to go through this shop and just throw a shit ton of stuff away. Alright. So, let's go ahead, run the broom over this real quick, just so I have a flat, flush surface to make these square. I'm going to kick on the compressor for a few moments just to let a little bit of pressure build up. So I forgot something. So these actually take 3 uprights each. So I am short 3 of the 62-inch uprights. So we're gonna cut those real quick while we're waiting for the compressor to fill up. If you guys can even hear me. you need 9 total 62-inch long pieces to make 3. Or 3 to make 1. Gotta play that run just a little bit longer, guys. I'm sorry. Say what? What's going on, Mike? How are you? Did you guys see that live edge that Mike did the other day? And the numbers that he did on that video? It was like 53,000 views on that video. That was incredible, dude. Both the bowl and the viewership you had on that. Manual dust collector? You mean like my broom? So we'll grab 3 of these, try to semi-color match them. They don't have to be perfect. Mike, I don't know if you saw, I think it was during that video. I actually got a response back from Strong Ink, and they're going to send me some kits. I'm pretty stoked about that. Both you and Michael Wilson helped me out on that. So, you guys are awesome. I'm so stoked about that. So, let me grab my square. This is going to be roughly, obviously I'm going to measure it and center it and square it all. We nail it together, but that's your rough layout of the frame. What's up, Razor? How you doing, man? I need my glue bottle. Gonna need my nail gun and my square. And then once we get this nailed together, we'll cut some of the frame or some of the cross members. So it should go pretty quickly from here. All right. There we go. Old ass down on the ground. I've got to get that off so I don't have to keep doing this shit. I'm too old to be crawling around on the ground. So, yeah. Do a little dab of glue there, a little dab there, and a little dab there. All right. And then throw our square up against it. Make sure we're square. Looks good. And then I'm going to put a number 6 Torx head deck screw through these. So when I do that, when I nail these, I like to put one nail at the very top and one at the bottom. That way you can fit that screw in between the two. Next, we'll hit this corner. wasn't far enough over. Wasn't quite flush on the edge. So you're making sure you're flush and square at the same time, all the way around. When these really start to get like structurally sound is once you start adding those cross members, the diagonal pieces. Right now on this, we're 36 inches. We used a 1-inch strip in the middle, so 35. I guess we'll take off 35 divided by 2. What would that be? 30 would be 15 and 2.5, so 17.5 inches should be. Damn, I had those almost perfectly eyeballed. It was off by like maybe a 16th. I'll double check that to make sure my math was right. Come the other direction. 17.5. Not quite. It's just ever so slightly off. That's 17 3/8 on that side. 17. And I moved the whole fucking thing. 17.5. 17 and 7. We're gonna call that good. That's close enough. No one will ever be able to see the difference. And again, leave room for your screws on the bottom of the frame. That's not as important. We don't do that down here. And just real quick, you can kind of adjust that even once it's nailed. Make sure you're square. Let's go down the other end. We'll hit that in. All right. What's up, Caleb? I am so tired of the heat, Keith. I'm taking my goggles off because they just, at this point, produce humidity. All right. Put one in just to hold it in place, nice and flush. And I'll check for square. Bring that down just a hair. On this side, you do still want to leave a hole because we're going to have a bolt that runs through there to attach the legs. And I make the legs bolt on and off for multiple reasons. One, I live in Colorado, and here we have some of the shittiest, rockiest soil in the world. So anytime you try to dig a hole or drive a stake into something, you're going to be fighting a battle. So that makes it where the customer can drive the stake in without having to fight with it. 15.5 from that side. So now that we're confident in our measurement on that, we're going to go 17.5 on this side too. Let's tack that. that's the whole reason I keep flipping the gun, just to make sure I've got enough room in between there to get the other fasteners through. All right. So we got one frame put together. Like I said, go through and add our diagonals. That will end up really making this frame rigid. So let's go ahead and do a few of those. And these are going to be longer than the normal ones, because normally make these 2 feet wide, but this customer wanted 3 foot. So, all right. Best way I've found so far for doing this, I'm going to leave you guys down here for a quick second. I knock a 45 on the end of one of these. We'll bring it over, we'll mark it. And once we get that, then we'll set a stop block. And again, it doesn't matter which side you start on. This could be the top, this could be the bottom. It really does not matter. You're gonna make that 45 set flush on this corner here, on that edge. And then you're gonna bring it down here. And you'll mark it about halfway through the board. So bring that up, and it should be opposite of this miter. So if we bring this, so that's wrong. It has to be facing that direction. Yep. All right, we're gonna set you guys down for 2 seconds, cut that, and then we'll go back over there. See how we did. That side lined up pretty well. And we're pretty damn well centered there. So let's cut a second one. We'll double check our fit. And then we'll set our stop block and go to town. I'm not sure if these are going to require as many as the 2-footers, because I think they stick down a little bit further than the 2-footers. Where did I leave my pencil over there? Sorry for all the motion, guys. Way I've found for doing these, I like to go ahead 45 and then go from there. Got a little bit of glue. Normally I nail this up on top of my chop saw. Here. Make sure that's nice and flush. There we go. I like to flip it, hit it from the other side. now you got this guy. We're gonna bring him, and you're gonna want to add glue to the center in each end. Just a little strip down the center here. Doesn't have to be a lot. The nails hold these together for the most part. And just make sure that your glue that you're using on these, since they're going to be outside, is the Type Bond 3. Tack that. I put 2 on each piece. I line this up flush, and I line this up flush. Both edges first. And then right here in the center, it never hurts. So you're keeping things square. Check that, that's still at 17.5, maybe just a hair off. If you're doing this on the floor, you can put your knee on it, or you can just kind of hold it in place. And then I'm gonna tack once from the side there, and once from the side there. No, that's not going anywhere. So, show you guys real quick, and then, damn it, I should have set up my stop block so I could have cut these. Now I'm gonna have to remark one. But that's gonna be the start of your frame. And then I believe it's 10. Sugi band version of that idea. I'm not quite sure what shugi means. Let's bring you guys back up here. I'm gonna mark one of these to the right length. I will cut a whole bunch. There we go. So just don't forget, your miter should be running essentially, you want your long point on the same side as your short point. I think that's the best way to describe that. Perfect. All right, so let's cut at least 20 of these real quick. So let's go ahead and set up our stop block. There's no sense in measuring each one. It'll take you all freaking day long. It doesn't have to be anything special. Your stop block. You can just throw any old piece of wood up there and clamp her down. I like putting this one on first because I can basically set it with one hand. And then to make sure it doesn't move on me, which if you guys ever do I've done a batch of, I think, 15 of these. So 15 times 22, however many ungodly amounts of these pieces that is. If you ever do that, make sure you check your stop periodically. Over time, you might bump it a little bit loose or whatnot. You don't want to get done cutting it all out and go to assemble stuff and half your parts are too small or too big and have to recut everything or waste a bunch of material. Neither is a good and once I get this tightened, we'll double check this. Yeah, we're good. So now we can just go to town. We need 20 of these guys for just one that we're working on. And then we'll need another 40 after that. So. I'm only going to get 2 out of each strip on this. It kind of sucks. But the nice part about the way this is laid out is make tight cut with 45, slide it down. This one is so bowed. I might not have enough pickets. So the 24-inch version, I normally sell those for 50, and then this one that I'm working on, I sell these for 65. The 24-inch version takes about 2.5 pickets, so you're in about $10 plus glue and nails. But not too bad. I don't like this one. It's all chunky on the not going to have enough pickets to do this. I've got I got 4 pickets I didn't cut up. But I think the straight strips that I cut are barely going to be enough. Just to cut the parts for these 3. Lame. Alright. And then, because we're building with pickets, make sure that when you're cutting these, you keep the pairs from the different boards together, if that makes sense. So for instance, I've got this one and this one. I don't know how well you guys can see on the camera there, but this one is significantly skinnier than, well, actually not that. That's not a good example. Here's a good example. See the difference in thickness there? You don't want to nail that together. You want to nail 2 from the same board so the thickness is the same. You could plane them all. I think that's way too much work for what they are. But just make sure you keep your pairs together. One more. Let's see. Trying to think. We're going to want to do it out of a thicker one. That's what she said. Oh, oh, oh. All right. So now we have all of our parts cut. The next thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to measure the spacing I have on those other ones and cut a spacer block so we're getting all these evenly spaced across. Show you guys the jig that I normally use to put these together. And this just makes it foolproof. You just slap them all in there. Obviously, these ones are a little bit too long, so they're an extra foot wider. But I'm going to measure that spacing right there, cut a block, and then we'll nail together the rest of this. Where is my tape? It's down on the floor. Making of my cabinet, they got me back to woodworking. Nice. I know. One of these days. But, you know, I've been using it like this for pretty much 14 years. And I just try to pay attention to what I'm doing and stay safe. All right, so we're at 2 3/8. We'll cut a little block of 2 3/8. We'll nail all these together. Get this out of the way. I'd like it to have. Here, let's just use a 2x4. It's 9 here. Don't forget that. So now, probably what I'm going to do is go ahead and nail the rest of those together right here. Let's see. Trying to find you guys a good angle. There we go. I'm just going to do it right here on the saw. These we don't want to lose because these are my other top and bottom pieces. I'm going to lay those over there for now. That one's a scrap piece. Go back. How are you doing today, Michael? Other than being scared for me. Let's move this back. The blade. That's not in the way. I already need to clean this top, so I'm not too worried about getting a little bit of glue on it. Here's my stack of parts. Try my glue. And my nail gun. How are we doing on nails? We're good. All right. Okay, remember, pair your thicknesses. You want to have one that's way bigger than the rest. But I figured out that doing it this way, nailing these together before nailing them onto the trellis, makes them come out significantly better miters. And over the length, you've got a little bit more flex to make sure they come out flush. So it's just a little bit easier this way. Cedar Point, is your name Josh? Is that who Ken's talking to? I'm still struggling with names. I apologize. I'm not the greatest when it comes to that. I'd be struggle busing. And I try to kind of pull these towards the center. every week? Damn. That makes it hard. I mean, there's so many of us. I try to make it around to everybody, but watching one video a week from everybody. Do shorts count towards that, or does it have to be a long form video? Yeah. Now I used up all my thinner ones. I'll go ahead and hit these. It is so damn hot out here. I'll die of a heat stroke. I guess there's worse ways to go. Motherfucker. I winged that one. Coming out the bottom. I don't know if it's just me or the way I work, but I hate building these because every time I do, I get exceptionally messy in the shop. I don't know if it's just all the extra drop or the 1,000 different little tools that I drag out. Almost got it. There we go. No problem. That little tear out will be hidden, so not a biggie. It'll be on the underside. There we go. That's better. Keith, what are you going to be doing on live tomorrow if it's not like a surprise? That should be a good one. I've really been enjoying all the shop fixture videos that Keith's been doing. I needed to. I'd like to do one of the router tables on the end of the table saw here. Then I'd have more space on the other bench tops. Except I want to do one that has independent fences. Because I'd like to start running, making cabinet doors again. And if you're ever running any of the bigger, real big bits that are taking off a ton of material, it's nice to have that secondary fence that you can push forward just a little bit further than your first fence. And that just kind of keeps the router from sniping on you. This another shorty. It's just kind of weird. All right. guys. Let's see real quick though. I feel like because these do reach further, I'm not going to have as many. I could be wrong about that. Use this block to check. I don't know. It might still take the same amount. And I'm pretty far spaced out before. But yeah, let me kick on the compressor real quick. Get a little more air. That last one, you can tell by the done. It's not split. I did not see that one. I'm going to have to go back and watch that one. That's a little confusing because I don't know how you would. See, that's where we're at so far. So we got like 2 or 3 more of those. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 more sets. And after those 4 sets, then we'll work on that's what the video I was talking about that he did. Got all this shit blown out of the garage. Vacuum table, that'd be cool. I think a downdraft table would be amazing. Sit down and chill with you guys while that air's up. So Cedar Point, your name is Darren? Keith, do you know what I'm saying about the independent fences on the router table? I will probably need reminded of that probably like 5 more times, but I will do my best to remember. Let's go see how we're doing on the compressor. So my setup, I've got a shitty leaky ghetto compressor, and then I bought this one at a garage sale, ripped the tank off, or the compressor off because the compressor part was shot, and just turned it into an auxiliary tank. That way that little pancake lasts a little bit longer. Yeah, so like on this table, you can adjust each fence individually. that was the wrong one. If it wasn't right up against my truck mirror. But yeah, you can push this one forward further and move each one individually. That way, as if you have a bit that's taken off a ton off of one, like a rail or a stile or a panel bit, then it maintains the flush plane all the way across. Does that make sense? You don't need it on most bits, but on some of those bigger bits, particularly like a rail and a stile bit or a panel bit, it's nice to have something like that. Man, it is hot today. All right, let's get back at it. Now that we got air. I probably don't need to move each one of these down there every single time. Just kind of push it on the outside. I really need to clean up this tabletop and stop gluing on it, but until I get that back bench cleared off, it really is my best space for assembly. Need to at least get a sheet of plywood or something to throw over the top of it. There we go. If you have a partner that can add the glue for you, you can really knock these out quick. Sometimes when I have a batch of these to do in a hurry, I'll get Sylvia out here and she'll put glue on the edges for me, and then I just go along and nail everything. All right, let's take all these down there. These ones normally do this on most of these. On these, I might have to go along and add some filler pieces in the top. I don't think I'm going to need all of these. Let's just check real quick before we start nailing. I know we only need two towards the next one. But on some of them, I've added a piece that runs here and runs here just to fill in that gap, which I think I might have to do because it's just right on the 2 foot, and those gaps are a lot smaller, and it looks all right. Yeah, that's not gonna board that runs like there, maybe one that runs there. Anyway, let's get the nailer together. Then I'm probably gonna go get some air conditioning for a little bit after I finish nailing this one. So again, when you're doing these, a little strip of glue down the center on each edge and flip. I mean, kind of, especially after you get a few up there, and kind of eyeball it. And start with your edges, make sure they're flush. Again, I put a couple nails on each side. There we go, nice and flush. Bit of a stretch here. And then you're gonna come here, you're gonna pop one on each side of your miter. More hose. I need hose in different area codes. I need hose in different area codes. And I'll come back and do the other 2 of these. And I'm probably gonna knock out the mirror ones today as well. And then tonight I'll do some turning. If I have time. I don't know. We're gonna at least get these done. Wipe off any little spot where you might have pushed it onto the wrong part of the upright. Oh, almost forgot. Gotta nail that center. Moving right along. Sounds like my phone is ready for a break too. My phone would ever die during a live stream. Yeah, no, when I first started making, I saw, I think it was a Matthew Peach video where he did the standard like fan trellises. Do something that you couldn't go to Depot or Lowe's to buy. So I came up with this pattern because it's pretty simple and straightforward to make. It goes quick, doesn't use a ton of material. This 3-foot one's a little bit more. Like I said, I normally do a 2-foot wide version of this, and it doesn't take up nearly as much material. But as long as you charge accordingly, shouldn't really matter how much material you're using. And any of those that you're using like 2.5 pickets, every like 5 of them you make, you get a free trellis out of the material. So that's the other nice thing about doing some production work is the extra little bit that you'd normally have to pay for and not make anything off of. Just waste or scrap sitting in your shop, it can go right into making another unit to sell. The fuck? That wing on this one, I'm gonna have to cut that flush. One of those winged up out the top. Yeah, I've seen people do the joining with it too. But I just remember, like, specifically, I used to use it when I'd run a panel bit. That's the 2.5 horse router with the 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch collets. So it can handle running the big raised panel bit for a cabinet door on it. I'm not a huge fan of the way these are lining up in the center. On my jig, it pretty much lands in dead center every single time. And part of that is me using the edges flush first, but I'm not quite sure why they're all end up just slightly out of whack. Alright, this might be our last one. We might have one more that'll fit under this. Let's see. We'll get this one on and then we'll check. last one might actually land perfectly. I'm not sure. Not quite. Damn near. I feel like if I cheat it, yeah, that's not gonna look right. I'm gonna have to do it separately and run the pieces like that. But I'll show you guys real quick before I end this live and go get some air conditioning. So like I said, on the two doors, this space doesn't look too goofy. But on these, it's small enough. I'm probably going to have to run an extra board right along there. And probably one more right along there. Same thing up there, just like one extra little V, but it'll come across about like that. But it'll be custom trimmed to fit that space. What's up, Chad? So, but yeah, that is how you make the Chevron trellis. I'll probably go live again when I come out to make the other two. I've got a lot of the parts already cut out, so it should go a lot quicker. Yeah, 36 inch by 5'2". With the legs, it'll be 6 foot. Alrighty, y'all. I'm gonna go get some air conditioning. Thank you guys for hanging out. I will catch y'all later. I better what? Better? How are you? I didn't even see you sneak back in here. And I better add those pieces. Y'all remember when I first started YouTube? And this lathe was my wood rack. Just had shit leaning against it constantly. Couldn't even use it. Alright. Don't see you again. Have a great day. And I will catch y'all later. When I come back, we'll add those little pieces along the top here. And the custom fit pieces along the bottom as well. Hey there, sorry. It's so damn hot out here. I gotta go take a break. Sweat my balls off out here. But I will catch y'all later. Have a good day.